Hey, what's up? This is Josh from Josh Todd and the Conflict. You're listening to Backstage Access, where the real show begins. Check it out.
Hey, this is Chris with Backstage Access, and we are stoked to have with us here today Josh Todd from Buckcherry and his brand new band, Josh Todd and the Conflict. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. We do appreciate it.
My pleasure. You're over there in North Carolina?
Yeah, in Charlotte.
Oh, cool. Love Charlotte.
Not cool, hot right now. Very, very hot.
Yeah. It's hot here. I'm in Cali. So.
Well, you've got a brand new project going out now, Josh Todd and the Conflict. What led you to start up this new band?
Yeah, it's definitely a band, not a project. I mean, we're having a lot of fun. You know, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. It's a project that a band, you said project, that I've wanted to start for a while. I just wanted to make new music. Buckcherry hasn't had a record out for coming up on 2 years, and I was just like, I'm over it. I want to make new music, and I wanted not to make the same traditional sounding rock record. So it kind of started with this project out on the road that Stevie and I started called Spray Gun War, and we made an EP, and it was all electronic music, and we had a lot of fun doing it, and we figured out we had a really good song chemistry. And then when we got off the road in November last year, I was just like, let's make a rock record, and I want it to be heavy and alternative sounding, and so he knew exactly what I wanted to do, and we just started writing, and finally we got to the end of the process, and we were ready to go in and record a record. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the name, The Conflict. Is there any kind of hidden meaning to that? I just like the word. Okay. I grew up in Orange County, California, and my base was just like independent records and independent bands and punk rock bands and stuff. So the conflict has come up many times in my life, and I had a lot of conflict going on this year at the beginning of the year. And so it was just fitting for the situation, and I wanted to call my band something. I just didn't want it to be just my name, you know. Sure. Now, you said Stevie D is part of the band. Who else is in the band, and how did they come on board? Yeah, Stevie D, I wrote all the songs with. He's my songwriting partner. He also co-produced the record. He's super talented, and he also plays guitar in Buckcherry. And Sean Winchester's on the drums. He's played in a lot of bands, mostly known for Everclear and Bow Wow Wow and a bunch of other punk bands. And Greg Cash is the bass player. He just got off the road with Dorothy and played bass in that band for a while. Cool. Have you worked with those guys before? Obviously you did Stevie, but the other two? No, I have not. Okay. And having such a great time with them. Very talented guys, and we all want the same thing, and that's the most important part. Now, the new album, Year of the Tiger, is going to be out this fall in September. So, and you mentioned you wanted it to be heavy, and it does, you know, it feels heavier than, you know, Buckcherry, and it's just totally different from Spray Gun War. What type of sound were you just aiming for this time around? Did you really want it just to be a heavy, kicking record? You know, it just kind of lends to my aggressive nature, you know, like, and Stevie knows that. Stevie knows my background. I've known Stevie since I was 19. He and I have been long time friends, and he knows exactly what type of songs cater to my voice, and he wrote me really good softballs for that, you know, for my lyrics and melodies, and so it was a great collaboration, and because of it, the songs are really great, and we were super passionate about it, so that always makes for a great record. Now, you mentioned the lyrics. Where do you kind of draw inspiration from when you go about writing lyrics to the songs? I mean, from all kinds of places. I've had a very crazy childhood, and so I access from that. I read a lot of books. I'm constantly reading books, so I'm always like studying great storytellers, because that's what songwriting is, storytelling in a short stories. So, you know, that's where I get all my inspiration from, and I accumulate titles and words and all kinds of stuff over the course of not writing songs, and then when I get down to write songs, It comes all different kinds of ways. Sometimes I'll just listen to some music that someone has given me, like Stevie, for instance, and it'll spark something inside of me, a feeling, and then I'll ride that wave, and then I'll go into my titles folder, and I'll look at titles and maybe see something that kind of sparks something of interest as far as, matching the intensity of the song or what the song is bringing to the table musically, and then I just start writing. It just comes out.
And is it different writing for Josh Todd and the Conflict than, when you're writing for a Buckcherry album, and how so?
I would say it's different in the sense of, the tunings are different. It's more aggressive. It's different in that nature. But I approach songwriting all the same way, whether it's like pop songs, country songs, rock songs. I want to make the best song I can make with what I'm given as far as the collaboration is, like musically. So that's what I try to do in each and every song. And if it doesn't feel right, I'll go rewrite the song. I'll do whatever it takes.
Cool. Now, there's a pretty cool cover of Erotic City by Prince on this record. How did you end up putting that song on the record?
Well, we're big Prince fans, Stevie and I, always have been, and just thought it was so tragic about his passing. Never thought that would have happened. Prince was the guy I thought was always going to be he was going to be hitting those high notes in his 70s. He was so talented, and I just... it crushed me, and I think it crushed a whole nation, and it's like everybody did songs and did a lot of songs, live performances, and we didn't do anything at the time because it just didn't feel right at the time. And then when this came into play, I was like, let's do Erotic City, let's do something really cool and make it heavy and make it sound like the Conflict wrote it, and that's what we did, and we had so much fun doing it, and I just think it came out great.
It did. Now, did you ever get the chance to work with Prince?
Never got the chance to work with Prince. Saw him live a few times and blew my mind. Such a huge inspiration on me in every way, but no, never got to write with him. That would have been crazy.
Right. Now, this band has already played a few live shows, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, we played a few live shows. We played with Mickey Avalon. We played our own shows. We've played. We're going to be playing with Bush coming up here. We're playing with Frankie Perez in Vegas coming up here. We've done a Harley Festival, and then we're looking for bands to, get a package tour together for the fall. Right now, we're looking really hard. So there's a lot of tours that are already booked. So we're trying to figure out a way and that we can tour with a package tour, and if not, we'll go out and do our own stuff.
Okay, so you definitely got tour plans going into the fall and winter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
What has the reaction been so far to the band?
The reaction's been really great. It's like, with no awareness and going out in front of an audience, that's a real test right there. So we've gotten to do that. We've had that opportunity, which is great. And people are reacting to the songs like they've heard them before. And that's really special, because once people get the record and they know the material and then they go to the live show, it's going to be bananas.
Right. Absolutely. Now, what's the status of Buckcherry? Are you going to be able to do Buckcherry and Josh Todd in the Conflict?
That's what I've been doing. Buckcherry is the best it's ever been. We got new players, Kevin Rankin on the guitar, and Sean Winchester is doing double duty for me. He's playing in Buckcherry too, and on drums, and he's so great. And it's still Kelly on bass and Stevie on guitar, and we've played a lot of shows this summer, and we're still playing shows. Like, I just got off a 3-day run on the East Coast of Buckcherry, and now I'm going up to Canada to do 2 shows this weekend, and then I come back and we do the Conflict stuff. And there was one situation where I did a Buckcherry show, then flew in Minneapolis, and then flew to Seattle and did the Conflict show the next day, and that was like a first for me. So that was pretty cool. And so we're going to finish up this summer with BC, and then put it on the back burner and go focus on the Conflict. But BC is alive, well, and kicking.
Great. Now, what about the lineup changes? Because there was a kind of shock with the departure of Keith and Xavier. What was the reason behind all that?
Well, you'd have to talk to them. It was a shock to me and to a few of the other guys in the band. It is what it is. The bottom line is, the last 3 years of Buckcherry was really challenging. You know, it wasn't a band anymore. We didn't have that thing. You know, we were just kind of showing up and running through the set, and that's not how you thrive. That's not how you stay successful. And so things had to change, and things changed, and it's been a great change, and I think everybody's happy, including the people who have left the fold, and that's all that matters, you know.
Right. Now, what about the name Buckcherry? Who owns the rights to that? Is Keith still a part of that, or can you talk about that?
That's a business question. I don't talk about business in interviews, but the Buckcherry name is intact, and I will be going out there and representing all things Buckcherry.
Great, perfect. We'll be looking forward to that when it comes in the future, some new music from Buckcherry as well. Now, you had mentioned Spray Gun War. Is that kind of on the back burner, over with, or is that going to be maybe coming back when you maybe have time?
Spray Gun War turned into Josh Todd and the Conflict. That's what it is.
Okay.
And we're actually doing OMG live now. It's fucking awesome. We're doing that with the Conflict, and it's really great. So we'll be doing all those songs live, not electronically, and they translate really well.
Awesome, very good. Now, Buckcherry is one of my favorite live bands because every time I have ever seen you guys, you've gone out over and above for the performance, and I'm sure that that's going to continue with Josh Todd and the Conflict, and we're going to get that same kind of energy when we see you guys out on stage as well.
You know you will. Come on. What are you talking about? Yeah, you know, it's already happening. Like, you know, that's the thing. We just need to get some shows under our belt, because we're chomping at the bit. Like, I'm going to rehearse the Conflict. Like, I just got back yesterday from BC. I'm going to go rehearse the Conflict at 6 Pacific, and then, you know, go do some BC stuff. I got to come here, and we're doing like this performance for all of Sony with the Conflict. So that's going to be really cool. And then we go out and play with Bush later on. So the show's great. It's even going to get more dialed in when we have like a proper tour together where we can play 5 days a week, you know?
Sure.
So it's all coming, you know, and the song that we did for the radio, Rain, we're in the works right now, finishing the video, concept video, and it's so dope. And we did it with Billy Jane, which Billy Jane directed the Gluttony video for BC. He also did Say Fuck It with BC, and I just have a long relationship with him, and he's really talented, and we had a lot of fun doing it, and there's just so many great songs on this record.
Okay, so the Rain video will be coming out when?
That'll be dropping August 15th, because we just dropped 2 performance videos,
right,
which you can check out, Year of the Tiger and Fucked Up. And I want to tell everybody to go pre-order the record right now, and you get Year of the Tiger and Fucked Up right now. And it drops September 15th, so you can go pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon and all the places you get digital music.
Great, sounds fantastic. I'm sure everybody's going to be excited to check it out.
Yeah, it's great. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving us some love to get the word out.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much.